LQBuzz News, your daily dose of Chinese entertainment and celebrity buzz. Episode 7 is where the show drops the coy smile and lets the pulse quicken. The tease is simple and dramatic. A mysterious card lures Liao Tingai into a poolside rendezvous. A hidden toxin flares at exactly the wrong second, and Sima Jiao dives in, literally and emotionally. What everyone's already calling the bath kiss isn't just fan service, it's triage. He feeds her blood to pull her back from the edge, and in one breathless frame the series turns a rescue into a confession neither of them was ready to speak out loud. The scene lands because it braids danger, tenderness, and the show's by humor into one fluid sequence. Water muffles the world, time narrows to the closeness of two faces and the urgency of breath. Arthur Chen plays Sima Jiao with it practiced authority we've come to expect, still, exact, maddeningly controlled. Yet the moment his hand finds her, the control cracks into concern. Wang Yinglu's Liao Tingai stays wonderfully, stubbornly herself even in crisis, startled, yes, but alert enough to clock what's happening and why. The framing keeps it tasteful while letting the implication ring. Intimacy born of necessity can still be real. If the pool is the spark, the aftermath is the slow, consistent burn. Sima Jiao has grown almost casual about saving her, which is to say he's grown reckless about himself. He follows up the rescue by flipping on his truth spell, the series' favorite plot device and running joke. It's half magic, half emotional shortcut, and he wields it with both calculation and boyish insecurity. The question he asks is direct, do you want to leave me? Liao Tingai answers before the spell can even make it dramatic, no. It's quick, unguarded, and exactly the kind of answer that turns a power move into a blush. You can see him savor it, you can see her realize she meant it. The banter around that honesty keeps the episode light on its feet. Liao Tingai's running bit, that Sima Jiao would read as a modern mafia boss if you dropped him into 2025, stays hilarious because it fits. He's all dark coat energy and quiet threat until she pokes a hole in the mystique. When she calls him basically an elementary schooler, he latches onto the literally funniest word in the insult and bristles. Did you just call me a chicken? It's a perfect character beat, a fearsome grandmaster who can flatten a room with one look, flustered by playground semantics. Their humor isn't sugar on top, it's the language of their bond. What episode 7 promises, more than splashy romance, is a shift in the show's ethics. Xianxia often leans on destiny as a script. This series keeps insisting on choice. The kiss is framed as first aid, but the decision that follows, her choosing to stay, isn't coerced by prophecy, fear, or even the truth spell. It's clean. That clarity matters. It gives their relationship a spine and keeps the story modern even as it plays with myth. From a production standpoint, the preview looks confident. The water sequence is cut for clarity, not chaos. You always understand where bodies are in the space, and the camera resists the urge to sensationalize. The soundtrack warms without drowning the moment, and the color palette softens just enough to sell tenderness without turning the scene gauzy. Costuming continues to do a lot of storytelling. His severity still reads his armor, hers is unassuming, practical courage. Even in a towel and steam setup, the show refuses to slide into cheap spectacle. It protects the character's dignity while letting the romance breathe. As for the larger arc, seeds of intrigue keep poking through the sweetness. An anonymous invitation, a conveniently timed poison, and an enemy clever enough to bait the Grandmaster's soft spot. None of that is accidental. The series has been sneaking in workplace rhythms and power puzzles from the start. Episode 7 looks ready to braid those threads tighter with the growing intimacy. Boyfriend energy from a man who still signs his authority in the runes is great TV. Watching him learn to wield gentleness as deliberately as he wields magic is even better. If you've been waiting for the moment the show stops flirting with its own premise, this is it. Episode 7 takes the promise of sweet daily life and backs it up with a kiss that means survival, a confession that means commitment, and a joke that means comfort. It's tender without losing its spite, funny without undercutting stakes, and honest enough to make you want the next episode now. In short, not just sparks, signal. Thanks for watching LQBuzz News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for your daily fix of Chinese entertainment. See you in the next video.